Hello gentlemen, Control here. Today's video is going to be a wonderful 2-in-1 day. As the earlier video today, well, it was on Targon, a couple new cards, and a new keyword that I actually called Spellburst the entire time. Spoilers, it's actually called Spell Shield. Very, very sweet stuff. Super excited for the new set. But we still have the current set, Rise of Tides, going on, so we're going to still be playing some decks from that. This list is one that's really spicy. We went 12-4 with this and actually popped off super, super hard. It's from a guy named Jones AF, and it is basically just going to be kind of a remix on Ezreal TF. But instead of Ezreal TF, you just play Gangplank and cards that are a little bit quicker. You run Faron as well, just sort of to end games a little bit sooner, I guess. It just helps you because you're a little bit more aggressive in the mirrors, and it kind of just helps you pressure other decks out of the game. Because when you play the Ezreal Gangplank deck, you're going to have issues kind of with your mid game, I think. Your curve really caps out at like 4, so in this version, you have Gangplank to kind of fill that 5, 6, 7 kind of drop slot with a big, chunky, powerful unit that can just do a lot. I mean, GP pre-level ups to 5-mana 5/5 that gives you a powder keg when he's summoned with Overwhelm and leveled up. I mean, he's a 5-mana 6/6 that does AoE damage and gives you a powder keg every round. So it definitely works super well with a deck like this that is composed of a ton of spells. The Warning Shots, the Flux, the Make It Rains, the Death Sands, the Fervors. I mean, Pill for Good, so Yoink your opponent's good spells as well. And this is a deck that is really home to Yoink cards, and they are played in a way that makes them actually good. It's really not terrible to play them in this list, and I found that, you know, just in the context of leveling TF, which I believe only happened like once or twice in the 16 games that we played with the deck, but, you know, in the games that it did happen, Pill for Goods is definitely crucial to that. Same with the Grifter, obviously, because, I mean, these cards are cards that do draw you cards most of the time. Same with the Merchant as well. But they did help a lot. Other than that, though, this deck plays pretty similarly to most Bilgewater decks, where you're just going to be kind of trying to play for border really. You know, you get your kegs to utilize cards like Make It Rain, Death Sand, Fervor to their fullest extent, get good AoE removal going on, and, you know, single target works as well with Fervor, Death Sand, yeah, for the gold card as well. You know, as far as the deck goes, you kind of just win sort of by tempo. You know, you just want to basically make it so the early cards your opponent plays are removed by the Make It Rain or the TF plus a keg, so that you have like very, very good ways to remove early boards, and then that kind of gives you a lead. Because obviously the units you're playing for the most part are not going to be the biggest. Like Dreadweight Deccan is a 2/2, Merchant is a 2/1. You have Butchers, an overloaded 1-drop, could be a 3/3 with a Plunder, which is really sweet. Petty Officer is pretty good if you do want to get the 1-cost follower. But I mean, you don't really have bigger units until rounds like 5, and then Faron on 8. And your top end of this deck is really, really good. Rex is one of the key ways that you do get upboard a little bit later on in the game. You know, maybe you've exhausted some of your opponent's resources with the Make It Rains or the TF red card a little bit earlier. Then Riptide Rex can usually clear the board and kind of just, you know, give you an overwhelming lead there. It also do a lot of damage to end some games as well. Definitely had Rex lethals quite a few times. And, you know, Faron was one of the big boys that actually showed up and really did work super, super well. Seems a little bit clunky to have 4 8-drops in the deck, but it does end up working out quite often. So I definitely recommend running at least one Faron. Card felt like he was definitely an MVP in this deck. You know, you do need ways to end games, and Faron is, well, kind of a finisher in most cases. He is kind of like an 8-mana 8/8, so if you can actually does 8 damage, and then the 3 decimates are going to be 12 damage combined. So that will just be lethal by itself. So pretty sweet for that reason. The deck, I would say, you know, it plays in a pretty similar fashion as Swain's TF, except for obviously you don't have Leviathans and you don't have Swains. Instead, you have Gangplanks and Farons. So you're kind of like Swain's TF, but you're a little bit more aggressive because you have a little bit of an earlier curve. And I mean, you do have the Yoink in the deck as well. It's one thing that I actually don't think I showed a clip of in the video. But the Yoink is actually still pretty good. It's really not bad at all, especially when you have the Merchant up to get the discounted cards off Pill for Goods. Really does not feel that bad. But you don't have the classic turn 3, hold all your spell mana, so you have 6 mana available. Play Make It Rain, clear 2 units from your opponent, play a Black Market Merchant, and then a Pill for Goods to really just draw 3, have them all discounted, and just overwhelm your opponent that way. Not something you could do anymore, so the Yoink is definitely balanced, and that's why we don't go all in on it with only 2 Pill for Goods. 3 is a little bit too clunky, but 2 is a nice number. And I mean, I found this deck to be really good. We zoomed up ladder with it. I mean, I think we're about 1200-ish now. Close enough, 1150, really not bad. Top 50 NA. Played this deck, and I also played Mill Karma and a little bit more Teemo. So look forward to the Mill Karma and some fun Teemo gameplay in the next couple of days. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day and enjoy this wonderful deck. One that I think is super good and definitely great for climbing. If you guys are looking to get Diamond, looking to get Masters right now, I would really recommend playing this deck. Its games are fast. It's a powerful list and one that not everybody's caught on to yet. So you'll have a little bit of an advantage playing it over something like, you know, Ash Sejuani, for example. Enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. And again, if you guys want to check out Targon cards, the cinematic, and my thoughts on the cards, link will be in the description and in the end cards for that. Have a great day. Appreciate you guys. Ezreal Twisted Fate. Okay. Well, I play Ezreal and Gangplank. Merchant Petty, okay, make it rain. If I think about this matchup, like the Petty Officer plus like Keg and make it rain's good still. Merchant is fine. I don't know if I want to keep here though. A little bit weird. I think Merchant's definitely a good card. Make it rain plus Officer is probably fine. I think Petty Officer is like a 2-1. This is a pretty solid card now. I mean, mulliganing an 8-drop for another 8-drop is not really the luck, I don't think. Sure. Stink of blood and sweat card. I feel like I'd rather just play the deckhand here over going for the warning shot Merchant. I think he probably lets the trade happen because of the Gangplank. I'm okay with that. I get a lot less value from the make it rain here. Like, I effectively just like toss away this powder keg, right? Because he's just gonna play a card and kill the keg, which I think is okay. Or you could give me that instead. Is that a good enough make it rain? I get a plunder off and I clear his cards. It's maybe fine, honestly. He can make it rain back. I should maybe just wait for combat here, actually, because then he challenges a keg. Okay, that's fine. Perfectly okay with that. Obviously, I do miss my my plunder that round, but I don't have a GP in hand, so it's kind of fine. Did TF here if you want. TF red gives him TF back. Would not clear my... I mean, it would clear my TF with gold card, though. I don't know how I feel about that. Open pass may just be the play. Could also just make it rain here, see what he does. I feel like I like that, though. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I technically should get outscaled by Ezreal, right? With the Gangplank version. And I should be the one playing aggressively. It just doesn't really feel right, I guess. So, like, in this case, now the red cards is better. And I got baited. Nice, let's go. Poggers in the chat. Unless I kill his keg with my make it rain. And then my TF lives. Okay, I'm the best player in the entire universe. Imagine thinking you baited me when really I baited you the entire time. It's all up here. He also loses a target for Ezreal with the make it rain, which I mean is kind of a big deal. It's not that relevant though usually, because what'll end up usually mattering here is just that they have like a Rex eventually, right? Because the Rex will basically just fully scale the Ezreal, assuming that those units a hit. Oh no, the red card player, okay. In Death's Head, I guess. And then I have 3 mana left. Sure. Go to 5 on the GP. Will Riot make so many cinematics for all the Runeterra big expansions? I'm gonna say probably, yeah. That would be my guess at least. They want to hype it up, right? Okay, so we can attack. We just let him go in here. I don't know how much of value really matters on this, though, is the thing. Maybe just make that a 3-1 and clear it. I feel like it's okay now. The Grifter. I feel like I may be playing for a little bit too much value now, though. That could be the only problem here. You could be leaning towards like too much of a value-centric game plan. I mean, it's definitely in our favor to have that Allegiance proc go off, but now we could say at least we're going to draw a Flock, Death's End, Fervor, or a Pharaoh next round.
Time for a true display of skill. Act 'em good.
Me play Keg.
Boys, none can compare.
So I want him to value block with the Ezreal so I can just Mystic Shot it, and even if he removes the Merchant, I don't really care, right? My idea at least here. So I think it makes sense. You never play around the 1-mana Mystic Shot. Makes no sense. It's like, wait, but you're not playing P and Z? No, my friend, I'm playing Yoink. Get Yoink.
No way. Boys,
0 to 5.
don't blink or you'll miss me.
You're not supposed to be playing another Ezreal, though. That's against the rules.
I don't miss.
I think I just let it go in at this point, honestly. So, I probably do pick 1-cost follower here, I think. Over the Keg just for more damage. Could be wrong, though, honestly. Like, we're pretty close to winning with this hands.
Firing.
like I like this more though. It's good. But it just does the 1 damage. It makes like a make it rain better though.
Yeah, you don't want to cross me.
I think this is one that, yeah, that's the created one. So I need to play the created one here. It'll maybe make him think that I don't have Rex. So I think the play here is always open attack and then Rex, because otherwise he can Rex me.
Got us covered.
India needs you to pay up.
So 10, Fervor plus Rex is lethal technically. I'll be a little bit off though. Like I actually don't win here. It'll be close. But if I do this, then he's at 4 and I have Warning Shot plus Fervor, so it should just be a dub. The fact that I now just gotta sit here is so strong. And I mean, honestly, this is just a deck that just says Rex is broken, right? So he plays his own Rex. He has 1 mana to work with. All I need to do is like Fervor this, go face, and then just play the Warning Shot and it's Cheech. Can't do anything. With 1 spell mana. Good win. I don't really know if I don't like how I played early game, because I mean, we talked about it mid game where I'm like passing on turn 4, right? I felt like the TF was like kind of weird, or I passed on 3 or something like that. It didn't feel like it was like really that great. And maybe that's one of the things you get when you play this deck more. Definitely the reason you play Gangplank over Ezreal though is just a little bit faster. Like Ezreal is a very slow champion in these type of decks, and in these matchups it's better to have Gangplank like a 5-drop you can just slam that does stuff. Because you are going to be getting the plunders off, you will be leveling up, and even when he's not leveled up, he's a 5/5 with Overwhelm that gives you a barrel. So it's one that's like a little bit confusing, but I think that I should approach this matchup with more of a mindset that like I'm the aggressors. I don't think it's like that weird to play. It's just like, it's the same as like the other old Yoink decks. Not too much has changed really. Obviously the main difference being that Yoink is nerfed. What a balanced match. 977 against 957. Matchmaking is working as intended. Wow. Lux, Hecarim, and Thresh. So I believe I played against this deck 1 time. I don't really remember too much what they played though. I think like Remembrance is one of the key things they did. So I don't think Make It Rain's a very good keep. Gangplank and TF. Do I want those cards? If we think about what's really good for him, it's like 5/5 Lifesteal card, right? The Radiant Guardian. Good cards for us. So I guess things that plunder. Which Make It Rain technically does. I feel like keeping a 5-drop is kind of a grief. But I think I still want to do it. Okay, that's really bad. I kind of trolling. If I didn't have a 1-drop, I'd definitely mulligan this whole hand, I think. But because I have the Butcher, I kind of felt like I wanted to keep this and look for like a little bit of a better hand, I think. Or a little bit more of a greedy hand, I guess, because I am on odds. The GP on 5 is good. I don't know, though. It's a little bit weird. It's like the early games should be like the package where they want to be using the units from Demacia that once you play a spell that costs 6 or more, they get value. Like, you know, +1/1 challenge for the 2-drop, or yeah, and just play Remembrance on 3, then those cards, basically. That's the idea, at least, I think. So we attack, he plays Remembrance. You don't like playing against TF Swing because you feel like its curves way too nuts for late game oriented deck? It's definitely good. I don't think it's like insane though. Lots of unbuffed Guardians, so we're fine with that. Okay. Grasp is kind of a useless card for us. Definitely does do stuff into the 5/5, but it's not ideal. I don't think they'll run the 4-mana card that kills an ally to resummon it. If they do that, then we're not going to be in a good spot, because then this Radiant Guardian will have Lifesteal and Tough. And I'll tell you right now, that's a go next usually. It's really not what we want to see at all. So I'm not looking forward to that if that's going to be the case. I feel like they almost just let that do 5 damage. I don't know if I really care. I'd be wrong though. Like I could do the Trading Grasp. I do kind of want to plunder this round though, which would be red card, which isn't really that great either. Problem for us is he still has mana if we deal with this to do things with. My TF's not very good. I think that I like that. I'm not too sure though. I could like Make It Rain TF red maybe, or TF gold, sorry. I think that's probably right, but I'm not like super convinced is the thing.
Never lost a fair game. played one.
I don't think blue card's really that good. I don't need to draw stuff, right? I have a really good card for next round, and I have like decent removal options. So it's not like I need something for like 5.
All that glitters.
For 6, maybe. But like our main problem right now is just a Guardian, right? If we're looking to get ahead on board, it's just that. The problem here is like if I wait until next round, I give him single combat, which is really bad.
Gotta trust your instincts.
Because I go GP, then I go make it rain, and the combat would just shit on me. So I actually feel like I make it rain now, and I don't want it to just like I just don't give him that option basically. But also just let my GP die. That should be fine. I don't really like the open here. He has 8 mana, so he can play unyielding. It's unlikely, but he can do it. If he plays Miscall, does Radiant get her buff? Yes. If the unit dies at all, including the Radiant, to be resummoned, it would in fact get the buff.
Break their legs.
The trade should be good though.
I'll show 'em pain.
Hold back the darkness.
The fact that it would have tough makes it so difficult to deal with. I feel like I'm just supposed to let this happen here. I think this deck is just too reactive for me to greed. We playing? Yoinky stuff. Okay, so I can chump block that with the Fervor next rounds. So I should let that go through. And I'll be 2 off lethal based on my hand right now. It was good. Okay. Oh. The game just got a lot harder, boys. Riptide Rex doesn't farm these. I think that the Guardians just winning the game. Run 2. This will only deal 1 damage. I can Fervor Grasp and clear 1. Goes to 13. Can you use a barrel to chump both? I don't think so. You can't block the barrel, right? I think this is the play. Keeps his health though. That means that they don't hit. I kind of need to hold that for the Rex, right? To win, I think. I don't really even think I play this here. I also can't beat Unyielding now. And you can just play a Lux as well right now. It's a pretty common play, I guess, actually, right now, is just jam a Lux. Yeah. You can control deck for Ash Sedge. I think if you play control decks, you'll usually lose. You have like Runation as an out, but they can play around it a lot of time. Remembrance is fine. A lot of low rolls with this card. It's not like a big low roll, but it's not like insane. The challenge is actually pretty good on it. The Make It Rain will do more damage than it should normally, which I like. So probably play Deca and Make It Rain. And then the Butcher after and just chill. Unyielding's not even good for Amir, which is nice. Like, he wants to go wide, I think. Hey, Bong, it's some chill, man. How are you? You know, just Saturday. It's a sunny day. That's it. Saturday, and it's a sunny day. It's always good luck. Maybe we hope this goes face, I think. Not bad. Where's the cake, maybe? The box. The Roddy Rich card. Okay. I don't want to use the warning shot because I need that still. So I just let this happen, I guess. Watch the VOD, you played the Fizz deck? GG's, dude. That was pretty close, man. Honestly, super nuts. I literally played Pill for Guts and got 2 of your warning shots, and I was like, okay, well, at least it's really like really not likely that he gets a warning shot for his Fizz now. He has another one. And then the turn after, you drew a Fizz that was turbo buff from your Seers, and you ripped a warning shot off the top. Oh, dude. That was actually such a good game. Oh. I was crying, man. Roddy Rich card? Yes, sir. It's a good one. It is, in fact, a good one. Okay, so he'll double challenge usually. Yep.
You can't outrun justice.
9 plus 3 is 12. I can't play 3 decimates. Is it okay? Whatever for Ron before I play the Rex. Because Rex doesn't even like always clear the Guardian, right? I think I like this more here. Detain. I mean, that's fine. So if this is the board state, I attack, he heals here with the Radiant. I don't do damage with the Ferron. If I try to play the Rex card into his Guardian right now, he could play Unyielding on it, and then, well, I don't really do damage. So, kind of sucks. Tough is a very, very powerful mechanic, man. I'm not gonna lie. If you just make this card a 5/5 with lifesteal, it's actually really bad. The reason why it's good... Oh, 2 tough cards now. Okay, well, that's not a good look. Okay, well... you know what? Hey, this Riptide Rex, not ripping it right now. It is definitely not ripping it right now. I can attack, and then I will heal him for a little bit if he blocks with this. If I go in this way, I can win 2 Decimates. So he always blocks with the Guardian, and he probably plays an Unyielding on it. And then this attack is a waste of an attack. Maybe do some Gangplank shit. Does that ever matter? Play GP flips. I do some AoE damage, which isn't relevant to tough units. Guess I would Decimate Gangplank then, though. Maybe rip one of these first. 2 flips. Lethal if he doesn't have combat. Well, barrels it also just buff the Gangplank ability, is what I was going for, right? Because if it does 2 damage, it'd be like 2 Nexus damage, and it would actually do 1 damage to the cavalry.
Hold nothing back.
Tiana. It's 4 mana. Do I just auto lose to Tiana? Not really, right? I think I just attack her. Because he can't Unyielding now. He can only, like, I guess combats is good for him, right? But like, I don't know. Like, if that's the play, we're kind of just fine.
Banish the unworthy. Burn them.
Okay, so we're kind of just fine then. I just play Gangplank, I think. Or I could play Chump Block. Chump Block saves spell mana. Is that better than Gangplank? I feel like no. The barrels are too good, right?
I am reborn of salt and pride. Dead men tell lies.
Because like I get a barrel at the start of every round, which is pretty insane. I think Tiana just lost in the game. I think so too. It wasn't very good, right?
Explosives.
It's way too expensive, and it didn't really accomplish anything. He hasn't played any champions yet either. He has Harrowing, I guess, which is a big deal, but none of his units have died, so he doesn't get a heal with them. And I could just play like the Officer, so I have 3 units to block with. I'd still lose, I think, though. Like he gets Tiana. I mean, I guess he would attack and then do the Harrowing, right? Hecarim, okay. So I guess I just Warning Shot and like let the Rex go off. And hopefully clear the Hecarim here. I have to get 3 hits here, which is like, I mean, there's 7 hits total, right? So it's not like it's super unlikely.
I'll take my time. There'll be blood in the water. Prepare the barrage.
Nice. 3 and 4. So a slight level roll, but still okay. I mean, it's like it's a high roll in the sense that like I get to do deal with the Hecarim basically, but I mean, it's not insane. He could also miscall twice here as well, right? So he could have more Hecarims, but kind of whatever. Safer line is maybe just like Petty Officer, and then I have like more units to block with. Yeah, could have been better. I don't know. What do you guys think? So I kind of like playing new decks too. Like I've obviously played Yoink, especially with like Gangplank before. But you know, it's kind of fun going through these decks again after not playing them for a while, like after nerfs as well, obviously. Because I mean, you kind of have to just like, I don't want to say learn the whole game, but like learn the deck again, I guess. Sure. I don't really see how that's good, but okay. So maybe he just like doesn't want me to open, so then he can like play Unyielding Spirit next round or something. Because I do, or not Unyielding, but Harrowing, sorry, because he gets Tiana back, so he gets to attack. If I open attack, he blocks, I get Gangplank back. That's it though. I would still play Gangplank first because the attack would still clear the 5-1 right now.
I rarely forget. Never forget. It's the boss.
Sure is, Rex.
You would play Harrowing. I still feel like even if he has Harrowing, this line has to be better. I could be wrong though. Sure. What a turn. So I do the 5. I mean, I do the petty officer and hopefully get more damage play, I think. So I do 4 damage here. Nice. And I gotta play Decimate, and I play another Decimate and I win. Gangplank slash Fetch is your favorite deck so far, or what else might be similar to that? The control special with Teemos Edge. Definitely different. I wouldn't really say they're that similar. Both like champion-centric decks though. Gangplank Thresh is more just like a Gangplank deck. So I mean, it's not like that similar, I think. But Decimate, that should be Jeej. But Teemos Edge is really fun for sure. But it's based around like both the champions. Whereas like Thresh, GP is basically just like GP deck. Thresh is obviously important too, because like when you do bring him back, you gotta like pull another Gangplank with like Rekindler, right? Or pull them from your deck, which is a big deal.